said, I really enjoy working with the kids. They crack me up all the time and I learn so much from them. And I love when they just let their imaginations run wild. I love what they create. I love their thoughts and their ideas.
The activity was about movement and using my body like a machine.
I feel like it was just really fun because there wasn't really any rules, and so we could just add on however we wanted. This project made me feel really happy and a little more proud of myself because it made me feel like I could really step in and do it on my own. I learned that communicating is really part of being a team, and it could really have a big effect on how you do stuff.
This lesson started with the community building and then a community building question. We moved into a warm-up where we were moving our bodies and just kind of having fun together. I think once you get the kids up giggling and laughing and just experiencing fun together, it kind of loosens them up, kind of relaxes them a bit.
So now we're going to move on to our machines. Just to review machines have mechanical power, so we want to be having those working, moving parts.
The activity was about just being part of a group and making a machine. You would think about what you want to be, and then you would have to figure out with your group, how do we make this item? How do we make this with our bodies? Teamwork was important because you couldn't make such a detailed thing on your own, and you needed the people around you. And you could also make much better things, and it was just really fun with other people.
And in the second day, it was more of them creating the machines versus me telling them what to create. So it was more of a challenge for them to use their imaginations to create different types of machines. And the students were asked to create and use their own ideas from their imagination. When I made this lesson, I thought about the core components of SEL. And so I really focused on relationship skills and building the relationships amongst the kids. I focused on that core competency, and then the traits that I really wanted to highlight that came out through the lesson was building relationships through experiences together, creating a car wash together as a class, that was really great. Or in the previous lesson, creating a small group washing machine. So having those big group and small group moments to build those relationships.
This time, I'm not going to draw anything on the board. So the first steps need to be is talking to each other about the different parts of the car wash.
The activity, you really had to listen to each other and communicate your ideas, and knowing that your idea may not be chosen, which sometimes can be hard for students, focusing on still accomplishing that task. They had to work cooperatively together. They had to resolve any conflicts that occurred, and they had to ask for help when necessary, not only from me, and luckily in OMA we have the teacher involved as well, but from each other. They kind of had to really push and question and help each other out. There were also some self-awareness, another core competency of SEL, talking about feeling machines and creating machines with your body. So we tied those two main core competencies in the lesson. My favorite aha moments is when we share the machines. So if it's small group and we share each other's machines, just seeing what the kids can create and watching their fellow classmates. Another aha moment is when it clicks for the group. You see them talking to each other and they're throwing out ideas, and some are working, some are not. But when they finally catch an idea and it sounds like everyone agrees with it or sounds like that's exciting and fun, it's that moment when it all clicks for them. And then you just hear their ideas flowing, and it's really great to see what they come up with. And they still have to, some ideas aren't gonna work, and they still have to, communicate with each other. But then also when they bring it to life. So in this activity, when they made that machine, the joy on their faces, not only it clicking, but now I've made what we've just talked about. So seeing that actual result. What I want my students to walk away with are a lot of things. In this particular activity, teamwork, they had to work as a team, so that was very important. They had to use their critical thinking skills, and now they had to create it on their own. So they had to really critically think what type of machine to create. Better connections with their classmates. I mean, they can leave this class and say, remember when we were that washing machine together, remember when we created that machine together, and they can laugh and have that great moment, that experience together. Also confidence. I really think it's great to see when my students can really shine and they have that confidence in them to not only just work as a team and use their voice and have their voice, but like to create something silly. We don't often ask our kids to be silly in a safe environment where it's okay. And so to have that confidence to be who they are, to be that machine, and to work with each other, just to challenge them to use their imagination. I've noticed over the years, kids are really having a hard time creating things off their own. They're willing to borrow from other things. So how I created this lesson was we were asked to really focus on the social and emotional core competencies. So that meant I had to do some research. I had to read some books, and I found a couple different handouts that really helped me identify the core competencies and the traits underneath it. And that really clicked for me. I was able to look at the traits and say, oh, okay, I can work with that. And then after I had that knowledge base, I was able to take what I know in my art form of theater and specifically connect those two together. And so finding what works for each and pairing them together.
When given equal importance and rigor, Arizona's academic standards in the arts and the social and emotional learning competencies provide enriching connections and learning opportunities for all students. During the 2021-22 school year, ADE, along with master teachers of visual arts, music, dance, and theater, developed a robust collection of curated artifacts and resources connecting SEL with Arizona arts education. OMA arts integration specialists, working with classroom teachers, support social and emotional learning, plus knowledge and skill building by providing a creative and engaging approach to learning, discovery, and content reinforcement. It is our hope that TUSD's arts and SEL exploration can inspire other districts and charters to support the whole child through an arts integrative and SEL-centered approach.